a well-rested kid means a happy family, and a well-rested mom means a happy family. Hi you guys, it's Heather Armstrong from Deuce.com, and today I wanted to talk about sleep training. To cry it out or to not cry it out. And, I like the big ones, don't I? No pun intended. My first daughter, Lita, was unhappy with being alive and was colicky and didn't sleep for the first 5 months of her life and would wake up every 30 to 45 minutes during the night, every night of her life. And I read and I read and I read and I tried and I tried and I tried all these different techniques, and I would go in and I would soothe her, and then I put her down and she'd cry and then soothe her and cried. And when I tried to soothe her, she got angrier about being alive.
Heather, I feel your pain. If there's a topic that makes me want to start crying, it's the topic of cry it out. We had a really similar experience with our son, as you did, Heather, with your daughter. It took about 2 weeks of screaming and crying and just horrendous, heart-rending. It was horrible. I mean, in fact, it sort of makes my jaw stiffen just to remember those times. And my son's, like, next week he's going to be 10.
Whenever I meet a new mom who, maybe has a 3-month-old and says, "Oh, my 3-month-old is just not sleeping through the night," it's very, very difficult for me to muster up sympathy because my daughter slept through the night at 4. And I'm not talking about 4 months. I'm talking about 4 years old before she slept through the night. It was 4 years that I didn't get a straight 8 hours of sleep.
Wow, it seems like once again I have the one dissenting opinion. I did not ferberize my babies. There was a very brief and unsuccessful and very trying attempt with my first. My husband talked me into doing this, and so the first night we let him cry for 2 hours, and then I got him. And then the second night I let him cry for 1 hour and 45 minutes, and then I got him, and then I refused to ever do it again.
One night we decided to lay her down in her crib, and we didn't go back. That was the first night, and then we did it the second night and the third night, and she was still crying. And then the 4th and the 5th and the 6th and the 7th and the 8th and the 9th and the 10th and 11th and the 13th. And then on the 14th night, she stopped crying and she slept the night. 14 days. I don't recommend this technique for anyone who is weak in the knees, because soon after those 14 days, I ended up in the psych ward, in case you haven't heard.
There has not a single thing that I have done in my parenting life that has more gone against my gut than that. And yet, looking back on it, I don't think we would have done anything different, because I don't really think there was any other option. Maybe there was, but I don't know.
I believe, and please don't hate me, I believe that by having your child cry it out night after night after night, it's not so much that the child learns to soothe themselves enough to go to sleep. I think just a wee bit of it is that the child realizes no one's coming to help, and they give up.
I hate blanket statements where people say, "Oh, you've got to do this, you got to do that," because there's no such thing as a blanket kid. You know what I mean? Like, every kid is so different, and their personalities are going to respond to such different things. So, for some kids, you do need to kind of, say, "All right, kid, you're going to have to work through this yourself." And for some kids, it really is not going to work. My kid was one of those kids.
My philosophy is, you do what works for your family. If you enjoy sleeping with your kid and have no problem with it, by all means, sleep with your kid. It's none of my business. Do it. And now with Marlo, I'm sort of going with the flow. About 3 weeks ago, she started sleeping at 3 months old from 7 until 7 in the morning, waking up once to eat. And we had done nothing except watch her cues to get her to do this.
For me, the cry is a bid. You answer the bid. Sue me. But no, I did not verbalize my children. I don't necessarily advocate it. I certainly, Heather, I would have been in a clock tower with 30-30 and a bottle of Jack Daniels if I had to go through 14-15 nights. I just would have said, please remove my brain. I do not want to ever remember this. My hat's off to you.
That's what my mom would say. She'd say, God is blessing you. God knew that he needed to give you one that you could work with.
Join the Momversation at momversation.com.